establish a trade mission in India would provide a real opportunity for selling and promoting manufactured goods there.
Yes, absolutely. I think so. I talked to you about our pistachio client, the Paramount Farms, and when we took them to India, we did the bulk of the work to make it happen. But the U.S. Department of Agriculture has an active team there. Okay, and they really knew what they were doing. I was a little, hesitant to use their help at first because I wasn't sure what value they would provide. But they were extremely forthcoming. They were very complimentary to the work that we did, so we didn't have to duplicate much of their effort. And I think if California were to establish an office, in India, I think it would be a dramatic advantage to local companies. We have tremendous medical device companies both in the Bay Area and here in Southern California. And I think, they need that push to be able to have that visibility.
I completely agree. We need to have the visibility. We need to have the strategy to go about that. I mean, companies do their own marketing, but the state can help an awful lot with the trade office and with a targeted sales, a trade mission to India.
Now, we mentioned medical devices. That brings up, what kind of manufactured goods does California retain a competitive advantage in terms of exports? What are the things that we make still here that are in demand in some place like India or in China or elsewhere?
I think products that have a high value add, high ticket price typically, and products that can readily be shipped by air, I think are very, it makes perfect sense to manufacture them in California and ship them worldwide. India is about as far as you can go before you start coming closer, right? Yeah. It's 12 and a half hours away. So transportation costs can be an issue, just getting goods in and out can be an issue. But if you have, many medical devices are very high value. You can get a lot into a small box. And so those types of products, I think it makes tremendous sense. And the other area where I think it makes sense is where there is a high degree of intellectual property. Because those are the areas where we find in many cases our clients are quite reluctant to put any manufacturing at all in China. Mm-hmm. However, India doesn't have some of those same issues. So often you can do a combination where much of the manufacturing is happening in California and some final value add is happening in India, and then you use that as a base to sell to the entire region, not just to India's small market.
I would just add to that, California has a huge opportunity to develop energy as an export, and I think that's something that we ought to be focusing on as well. And there is a lot of discussion in Sacramento right now about how we're going to develop energy in our natural resources in the very near future.